Hey guys, it's Avery. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today I filmed a beginner's makeup tutorial. It's super easy. You can do it if you're 8 or if you're 80. It's just quick, easy, fast. So I don't consider myself as a beginner, but I don't consider myself as a pro. Obviously there's more room for me to get better. I will keep practicing, but I feel like I have enough tips and tricks to show you guys who are beginners that this is an easy look you can do, and it's simple. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and like this video before you leave. If you want to see more videos like this, go check out my later videos. Go like those. It's good. And yeah, really nothing else. Let's get on with the video. So first thing, I just like to mention this. It's not really makeup, but it more has to do with your skin. I feel like everyone should always wash their face, and if they don't wash their face, then they get more acne, more blemishes or whatever, and that means you have to wear more foundation or more makeup, and it just looks cakey overall, like the bumps and stuff. So these are the two products that I use every morning and night. I don't have a big routine. I just wash my face and moisturize with the Clinique Liquid Facial Soap and the Clinique Moisturizing Gel. These are both for oily skin, and I just feel like it really helps me clear up my skin. Also, I like to go in with some Mario Badescu skincare facial spray, just if I want to kind of lively up, if I'm feeling tired, if I'm feeling my skin doesn't feel well and it's just in the middle of the day and I don't want to wash it, I just will spray this. You could spray this over your makeup, under your makeup, whenever, at night, in the morning, and I just think it's really good. But I wouldn't substitute this out for a moisturizer. I think you should always moisturize your face, but I think this is just really good, and it just helps rejuvenate your skin. By the way, I forgot to mention, these are not drugstore. They're actually really expensive. They're like $20-something each. But I know you can find great moisturizers and face soaps at the drugstore for way less. Those are the ones I like to use. This isn't drugstore either. I get this at Ulta, but this is only $7, so it's a pretty good price. First things first, I always prime my face. Okay, this isn't a really important step if you're just wearing concealer or whatever. I just like to do this to fill in my pores. But if you have really good skin, and if you're in a rush, then me personally, I wouldn't prime my face just because it's quicker and faster. If you want to keep your makeup on longer, then I do suggest priming your face, but it's your own personal opinion. Today, when I just wore concealer, I didn't prime my face and it looked fine, but this is just the one step. So I'm using the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Base Primer, and then I just put some onto my hand, and then I just apply it in the pore areas that I have, and it just fills them in, and it helps to mattify everything. So I usually wait 30 to 60 seconds after I apply my primer, just so it sinks into the skin. Next, we're going to do concealer. We're going to skip foundation and BB cream. One, because sometimes BB cream doesn't work and cover up as much as you'd like, and concealer is just a better option. And two, foundation just sometimes gets a little cakey, especially if you're a beginner, because one, you probably don't know how to match your skin tone. Your skin probably changes in the winter and the summer, so it's hard. And two, because, three, just concealer's easy and fast and stuff, and yeah. So a drugstore concealer I really like is the Wet n Wild concealer. It's a great low-priced option for concealer, and it really does have a good coverage. As a beginner, I really wouldn't use a really full coverage concealer because you don't know what you like. If you want more to look skin-like, then I would go with a light coverage one. If you want more to look cover a lot, I would go with a little more medium to full coverage. Just, it's your opinion. I'm not really a full coverage girl. I kind of like makeup that looks more like skin. But it's definitely your opinion. So I really like this Wet n Wild one because it looks more like skin-like and not really heavy. So if I have foundation over, I would usually apply this in a bunch of different areas, like under my eyes, in my forehead, on my T-zone, or down my nose, on my chin, under my contour. But since we're doing something easy, I just like to go under my eyes, and I do little not stripes, but not dots, and then multiple ones, and then I just go sometimes I do this. You don't have to if you want to. I suggest just going under your eyes, but since my forehead is a little bit greasy, I just like to do a little like sprout thing on my forehead, and then I'm done for concealer. Next, I'm going to go into my beauty blender, and I just like to pounce that onto the concealer to blend it out. I don't suggest using your fingers for like foundation or concealer because it causes a more acne. So I have this NYX HD finishing powder and the Stay Matte Rimmel London powder. I like this one a little bit more because it has a little bit of a tint, and sometimes this leaves a white cast, but it still looks super natural. If you have a really dark skin tone, I wouldn't suggest this, but they're both really good. So I like to take a little like dome brush, and I just go into that powder, and I set everywhere I put the concealer. I do this when I have foundation on too, and it makes like, it kind of just, the powder smooths out your skin and mattifies it, and I love when I do powder because it just makes everything a little more silky. It looks a little silky. Also, I put some on my chin and on my nose area because I get a little greasy there too. Okay, next is bronzer. Sometimes I skip this step if I'm in a rush, but I like to just use my butter bronzer because it's more like a cream than a powder. I feel like it's just so smooth, and it is from Physicians Formula. Apply bronzer on my forehead and then on like the outer part of my cheeks, and it kind of just gives you a little more warmth and color. And yeah, this is a really good drugstore bronzer. Next, it's blush time. Now for me personally, as a beginner, I would probably skip this step because I don't usually like to bronze my face if I'm in a rush, because I just don't feel like it's important, especially if you're not wearing foundation, so your natural color pops out more when you're not wearing foundation to cover it up. So I'm going to skip blush for this tutorial, and we're just going to keep it moving. Honestly, I feel like everyone can do highlight, and it just makes your look a little bit more better in my opinion. So I have two really good drugstore options for highlighter. It is this Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter and this Wet n Wild highlighting powder. I'm going to go into the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter because I want it to look a little more goldy for this look. Now, these highlighters are both good for a subtle glow and a really pigmented glow. It just depends on the pressure you apply. So I just like to apply it on my cheeks and then a little bit on my nose, even though I didn't put much makeup on my nose. Any makeup on my nose. Okay, next it's time for eyebrows. Eyebrows are really hard, honestly. So as a beginner, I would probably just use powder because I feel like that's the easiest way to go. Or a pencil. I wouldn't use a pomade. I wouldn't use like a waxy gel type or whatever. Honestly, I think powder is the easiest. Maybe a pencil, it depends on what pencil you're using. The Anastasia brow definer is actually trickier than you would think because this has more of a triangle shape. So the Brow Wiz would probably be easier since it is more pointed and defined. So today I'm going to use a powder because I just want to show you guys how I like to do my makeup or do my eyebrows with the powder, since it's the easiest way. For an eyebrow that you're going to use powder with, you can use a powder that is actually made for eyebrows, or you could just use an eyeshadow or a bronzer. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to be using an eyeshadow today. So for your eyebrows, you always want to use a small angled brush, and with powders I feel like you don't really need a spoolie. I'm going into this e.l.f. little palette, and it is in the shade Necessary Nudes, and I'm using this the darkest brown shade right there. And then I just like to, my biggest tip is to just follow the natural direction that your hairs are going in. And then you could just take a spoolie and just kind of diffuse the powder so it's a little more blended. This is the eyeshadow primer from e.l.f. It's super good. And you just want to apply that onto your lid, and then you could just blend it out with a brush if you wanted to, or you could just use your finger. I am taking this CoverGirl True Naked Nudes palette. It's super pretty and easy and natural. You always want to set your eyes so nothing creases and you don't get any weird blotchy things with your eyeshadow. So you always want to take a cream or white shade, and this is the second shade in the palette. And then you just want to apply that onto your lid. You can use your face powder, you can just use a plain white eyeshadow or a cream eyeshadow. Doesn't matter, you just want to set it. So then always take a big fluffy blender brush, and you always want to use a transition shade because transition shades will always just like help your makeup blend a little bit easier. So I'm going to be taking the fourth shade into the palette, kind of this light taupey shade right here. And then I'm just going to apply that into my crease with this big fluffer brush. And I'm just like using windshield wiper motions and applying that in. Then you want to take a darker shade as your outer corner, and I'm going to be taking the sixth shade, I think, and it is like this dark brownish shade. And I'm just going to apply that to your outer corner, just diffuse it a little bit and blend it out. And it just like defines your eyes and makes it more awake. Then you want to do your lid shade. Your lid shade should always be your lightest shade as a natural look. So I'm going to be taking the third shade in this palette, this like pinky shade. I'm just using my finger because you can always apply your lid shade with your finger. And then you're just going to apply that on. So you can always do your lower lash line. Personally, that's my least favorite thing of makeup. And if I was just starting out with makeup, and when I started out with makeup, I didn't do my lower lash line. It's not a big step that you have to do. But if I was doing my lower lash line with this look, I would use the crease shade and apply it all across the lower lash line. And then I would use the outer corner, and I would just apply it in the outer corner. Next, I feel like this is one of the most important steps in your eyeshadow. You always want a bright white, bright like goldish, really just bright color to put into your inner corner eyes because you want to look more awake. So I really suggest doing that. I like to just take my pinky finger and go into that white shimmery shade, and I just apply it into my inner corner, easy. And then you can always just like blend that out. Next is mascara. I don't suggest doing liner because liner is hard, so we're going to be using the Telescopic L'Oreal mascara. It's a really good mascara, and you just want to apply that. You just like coat your lashes, super easy, super quick. So I'm going to go into this NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Tiramisu. These are great. They're only like $7 and they're super pigmented. And I'm just gonna apply that. Okay guys, so this is the end of the video. This is the final look, my beginner makeup tutorial. Really hope this was helpful, and if it was, please make sure you like it and subscribe so you could get more videos like this. I hope you guys have a great, wonderful day or night wherever you are, and that's really all I have to say. So yeah, bye.